Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the road to the Showdown. It's your boys 33 welcoming you in to the last day of qualification. Everything is on the line. We've got 5 matches on the docket. Already guaranteed that one extra tiebreaker. Who's going to be in that match, we're unsure. That will be cleared up later on, but we've got stuff to talk about here, of which there's some high importance as we're heading into some pretty interesting situations. But obviously, we won't know how things will shape up. But let's talk our match card through tonight. Starting off, Julia versus Natalia. A lock-in match for Natalia if she wins. She's going to the Showdown. A loss, and well, c'est la vie. She is eliminated. The television champion gone before the live event even kicks off. From there, we head to the Green League as as Kenny Omega and Finn Balor will battle it out. A win for Kenny locks in both him. Well, it locks himself in. A loss, and he's in a fatal 4-way, which will be the 5th bout of the evening. After that, it is a Gold League battle. Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. A win for Ripley via countout causes a tiebreaker match, so we will have 6 matches if that were to happen. But any other form of victory for Ripley would qualify her, and we'd then have to go to the tiebreaker stipulation between Chelsea Green and Stephanie Vaquer. We'll talk about that later. But a loss for Ripley, and then it locks in Green and Vaquer. And our last of the regularly scheduled matchups, our main event for the regular show, it's Roman Reigns versus Randall Keith Orton. The winner takes home potentially first seed. However, no, takes home second seed in the tournament. There is the potential still to have a tiebreaker battle if it ends in a draw. But other than that, it is going to be a qualifier. So, with our regularly scheduled matches, we can kind of mention the tiebreaker match we're guaranteed. It is a triple threat at minimum between Samoa Joe, Seth frickin' Rollins, and AJ Styles for that 4th spot. If it comes down to it, we will have another 2 matches, basically. If Kenny loses in his match, it will be that fatal 4-way, and then it will be a triple threat match to follow it up. A singles match to follow it up to decide our 4th seed. So yeah, we'll get to explaining the rules if that situation does stumble across the desk. But before we get to really talking about that situation, the focus is on the Teal League, as it's a big time matchup to round out the show, or round out this league in terms of qualification. A win for Natty, and she's in. A loss, and Lyra's in. Simple as that. Let's get going with our opener for tonight's show. Live from the Primetime Arena, Julia, the first star out. And this is where we get to talk stakes. Last night, Roxanne Perez upset Lyra, thus causing this situation.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Tokyo, Japan, Julia.
If Lyra had have won, the ball was in her favor, and she would have knocked out Natalya. And, well, actually no, Natalya could have qualified based on tiebreaker ruling against Io Sky. But obviously, after Lyra's loss last night, it locked in Io due to her record in this tournament. But we will, if Natalya wins tonight, know that she will be qualified in third for the Teal League. Io would be in fourth. A loss for Natalya would lock Io in third and Lyra in fourth here. We've already seen one upset happen this week with that Roxanne Perez victory. And tonight, Julia's looking to do the same thing by beating the television champion, a woman she lost to before.
And her opponent from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, the undisputed women's television champion, Natalya.
We have to go back to Locked In. The lot inside that chamber. Julia was in that matchup. She lost out to Natalya, who walks away from that tournament with the belt and now walks into tonight still with the championship around her waist. Obviously no title defenses on the road to the Showdown or at the Showdown for Natty. But we will know if she's going to our show at the end of tonight. And it's interesting to note that apart from Samoa Joe, Natalya has the potential to be the only star not to qualify that holds a championship. Now, that's a pretty big result that could potentially happen. We'll have to see if it does, but keeping our focus on this match, Natty is starting to get going here, taking control of the early footings. Just doing a bit of damage here to Julia, who's back to a vertical base. They tie up once again. Now Julia, we know, unfortunately eliminated from the tournament. This is a nothing match for her. Her only win came against Jasmine Nix, who obviously we saw put on a hell of a run after that, barely missing out on a qualification spot on the road to the Showdown, sitting on 8 points. A win would have got her to 11, and that would have almost certainly got her into a guaranteed qualification capacity. But no, we're still sitting here, and we have to kind of talk about the road to Showdown with some hindsight now, because we're basically at the end of the line. You talk about the television champion in terms of Natalya, Randy, the stars that have beaten them in this tournament. Well, there's certainly some names there that do deserve title shots, and we mentioned one a moment ago, Jasmine Nix. That epic comeback against Natalya, I loved that match so much. It probably would be a good thing to get a title bout between those two after the Showdown, as we will be moving towards a full-on live show. Nice Falcon Arrow off the top rope there by Julia. She does the deal, but yeah, it'll be returning back to norms for IPW after the road to Showdown, and that is going to be a joyous thing. We're going to be seeing title matches galore through many a tournament as the abdominal stretch being locked in here by Natalya, looking to tap out Julia. Very solid stretch as the hip toss through from Julia to break the hold. What we have seen, though, from these stars, I think we've got to also talk about the men's undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. Because Samoa Joe, in this Green League, only 3 wins out of 7. Those 3 wins were quite big, but let's be honest, 4 people have beaten the champion already. And that is not a good sign for him, because he's got to defend the belt eventually. And those 4 men, well, they're probably vying for a title shot now. And they've got a good claim to get it due to the fact they've already beaten the champ. But speaking of beating the champion, Julia might not be able to do so here as she's locked in the sharpshooter. Natalya trying to tap her out. Isn't able to do it. Discus Lariat misses. Julia grabs a hold of Natalya up and down. Gut-wrench suplex. Sending Natalya over her head. Now hooks her up. Hammerlock. Suplex out there by Julia. It's such a perfectly beautiful maneuver. Caught, though, as Natalya sends her running. Lines her up. A backdrop out from Natalya, the Queen of Hearts, looking to slay the beautiful Madness. Can't get that victory just yet. Does force Julia into action, though, as a roll-up attempt here, trying to sneak the victory with the schoolgirl. Can't get it. And Julia has a hold of Natalya, brings her to the corner. And this is kind of what we want if we want Lyra Valkyria to qualify. But Julia heading up top to join Natalya up there. Perched up high. A big time avalanche superplex. Julia lining up Natalya. The big knee connects to the face. The fall into the cover. Julia looking to put an end to Natalya in this tournament. It's not going to come through just yet. But the beautiful Madness is starting to cook through with that DDT. Julia getting to a solid, strong position. Tries to headbutt Natalya. Can't get it. A roll-up attempt here from Natalya. Trying to sneak the victory. 2 count. Oh, nearly. Referee Gale tonight issuing the counts as they happen here in the Primetime Arena. Natty just now starting to take over. Boots to the body of Julia, who now gets forced off. Natty calling for a shot. Lining up Julia. Hooks her up, double underhook the butterfly into a suplex. Julia now being manhandled, or woman-handled, I guess you could say. Pinfall attempt in from Natalya. Looking to win here. Can't get it just yet. But Natty in control. Has her sights on the target. Tries to go for the legs. Can't get it instead. She's caught. Julia hooks her up. Northern Lights Buster. Plants her into the pin. And the win. Nearly the win. But Julia has Natty in her sights. The armbar locked in, and it's locked in deep. Will Natty tap? No, she's breaking out. The punches release her arm, and she stays in this match. Julia catches her. I think Natty was going discus lariat. Instead, not gonna get it. Now she does! Through and connecting. The pinfall attempt follows suit. Natty looking to qualify. And the television champ sends the birds packing and qualifies for the showdown. Our seeding's guaranteed now. That in first sits Michelle McCool. Second, Fallon Henley. Third, Natalia. And in fourth, Io Sky. That does mean our opening round matchups are locked in as well for this division. It will be Natalia and Fallon Henley in a rematch from the first rotation bout. Our first match of the week. And Michelle McCool versus Io Sky. That's going to be an epic lineup for this teal division tomorrow night. Those two bouts are going to be epic to cover as well. But from there, we're heading to the Green League. And our first, well, it's our fatal four-way decider. If Kenny wins, he will be qualified for the live event. And he won't be in that triple threat match or fatal four-way if he is in it. A loss to the Demon solidifies Balor's position
Here is your winner, Natalia.
in second place in the Green League. And Kenny would be in that fatal four-way. It's a do or die matchup that, technically speaking, still could be happening at the Showdown. But we'll have to see. But as we pan over to our second bout of the evening, it's the cleaner, Kenny Omega, battling the Demon, Finn Balor. Both these men ready to give it their all, as am I with the call, because the odds are drastically higher on this match than any of the others tonight. Such consequences or stakes on the line for both these men, really. We head to the match as we welcome out first the cleaner, Kenny Omega, into the prime time arena.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, weighing in at 224 pounds, Kenny Omega.
What we know is this. A win for Kenny gets him to 12 points. He then overtakes the Demon in the standings and reaches 12. Well, the Demon's currently on 11. Kenny takes second in this division. As for the Demon, a win for him, he gets second seed. Kenny's in that fatal four-way. Now, we can kind of hype up this triple threat match in its current state. The undisputed World Heavyweight Champion, Samoa Joe, the Architect, Seth Rollins, and the phenomenal AJ Styles, who's had literally a week off since his last match. And let's be honest, It is a big difference in terms of who gets the matches and what order. The scheduling has been pretty insane here for this tournament. And that triple threat match, you've got the champ who's looking to prove he is dominant and should be at this live event. And the big thing for him is he can overtake the Demon in qualifying. No, they can't. They are always guaranteed 4th seed, basically.
And his opponent, the Demon, Finn Balor.
So, essentially, tiebreakers do not have points associated with them. I should point that out. Basically, whoever wins that triple threat or fatal 4-way later doesn't go up in points. They just get the 4th or 3rd seed, and then the triple threat match will always give that 4th seed. Now, as we welcome the Demon into the arena, the former television champion has done well in this tournament. You look at the Green League as a whole, the only 2 people qualified aren't the champion. One has been extremely dominant in The Rock. Obviously, he was unable to get the perfect record in the tournament after losing last night in a pretty epic opener. That count-out loss to Rollins, who forced that triple threat into existence. It's nutty, but it happened. And as we focus in on this bout, stakes could never be higher for this division. Obviously, the Demon really wants to solidify. Well, he's already guaranteed 2nd or 3rd, so he knows he's going to be facing the same person regardless. So seeding really doesn't matter for him in this matchup. So, to be honest, the Demon can take this a little bit more lax. Kenny, on the other hand, he needs to win in this Bullet Club battle as we get underway. And straight off the gates, Balor is on attack mode. The Demon taking control in the early goings. Omega connecting, starting to get into it, but misses his 2nd shot. And now Balor in control, rope break called. And yeah, this is certainly interesting because what we've seen is Balor beat AJ, AJ beat Kenny. If Kenny beats Balor, then we've got that triple, the triangle of wins between all the, like, let's be honest, the top Bullet Club leaders that have existed. Jay White and then now David Finlay, I'd say aren't the tippity top of Bullet Club. They weren't on the same pinnacle as these 2 were. But as this match starts to kick off, them battling here on the outside, Kenny starting to get the advantage over Balor, which is great. Poison Rana on the outside, beautifully executed by Kenny. Kind of have to worry that a countout could occur, and a countout in this situation is actually beneficial to both men. Kenny would qualify. Balor would secure second. That's just poetic justice more than anything. Now, Kenny would qualify in third, which, let's be honest, this matchup really does decide if we get a rematch of the Bullet Club War. Kenny versus Balor that we're seeing now could be happening legitimately tomorrow. We already have a full division decided in the Teal League. Those bouts are going to be pretty cool. Exciting to cover them off with you guys tomorrow. But as we watch this one unfold, as Kenny lines up Balor for the big time knee, just connecting flush on the skull. The pinfall attempt comes through. And it's a 2 count here for the cleaner. As we continue to watch this match just unfold, there's a lot on the line here as Kenny has Balor up. Caught. German suplex into the bridge. 1, 2, and a kick out by Balor. But the lights have gone out. The Demon rises once again. He takes the back of the cleaner. Sends him over the top rope to the apron. Balor, gun stun. The Demon has his target in his sights. Kenny. Back into the ring. Actually gets the better of Balor here. Northern Light suplex. Connecting with ease, and now just taunting the Demon. Not the wisest of things to do here by Kenny. As Balor slips out the back door. Snapmare. A boot to the back as well. A follow-up strike to the gut, and now Kenny's arm in trouble. Balor, we know, can be dangerous. He can pick you apart if he chooses to. Or he can just stomp the lights out of your brain. The pinfall attempt here for Omega. Trying to sneak it. Gets a 2 count for his effort. Strike through, and now following it up, running up and over, just snapshotting that head of Balor. Probably gonna crack that neck as well. Just give it a nice feeling of the air being pulled out of the joint. The running knee misses there from Omega as Balor's through with a sling blade. The Demon hooks Kenny up. Nice snap suplex. Looking to follow it up. He hooks Kenny up. 19, 16. Plants him down. Pinfall attempt here. Omega in trouble. 1, 2. And a kick out by the cleaner. Demon, however, is unrelenting. Keeps the pressure on Kenny. But the cleaner fights back. Omega takes the back up and over. German suplex. Balor forced to roll to the outside to get some reprieve. But how much reprieve can you actually get? And you are being constantly hounded. Kenny, deadlift German suplex. Sending Balor around the world. Now hooks him up to the power bomb. And just drives him into the mat. Kenny's getting to that place where he is a monster. Hoists up Balor, setting him up. He's in the sight of a big running knee. It busts open the Demon. And the Demon could be in danger. Trapped in the corner. And lifted to the shoulders of Kenny, who's got him hooked up. And driven down with a one-winged angel. The pinfall attempt here for Omega. Still can't seal the deal. A 2 count. And Balor resilient, staying alive in this tournament for the chance of a fatal 4-way. That springboard missile dropkick gonna be no sold. As Balor arm drag takedown puts Kenny in the mat, through with a leaping forearm. The Demon now reasserting himself into the match. Trying to put the Cleaner down and out. A combo of strikes come flying through. And Omega needs to weather this early storm. Well, this storm. He avoids the basement dropkick. Sends Balor running. Balor catches him with a lariat. Takes it back, hooks him up. Bloody Sunday! Into the pin goes Balor, looking for the victory. And no! He nearly gets it. But it isn't enough just yet. Omega catches the fist and goes for the roll-up. 1, 2, no. A near fall from both men. Somehow, they're both able to kick out. Balor, we know's been busted open already. Kenny looking to make that wound worse ahead of the clash at the Showdown. Nice catch there from Omega, expecting to strike. Now gets Balor on his shoulders. Gun stun across that top rope. The Demon in the drop zone. Kenny to the high, well, the middle rent district. Up and over with that missile drop kick as well. The Cleaner has been the dominant star in this match. Through the majority of it. Balor's had his shot to strike though. And he's taken them small chances and delivered as he heads up top. The coup de grace connects. This is one of them small shots Balor has gotten and he's delivered a knockout shot. No. Kenny kicking out in the nick of time, keeping his qualification hopes alive. Balor now busts open Omega. You can't separate these two. You understand why they were both leaders of the Bullet Club based on this performance. Kenny has Balor on his shoulders once again, hooked up, planted down. The one-winged angel to seal the deal. And the Cleaner is going to the Showdown, leaving one spot left in the Green League. Part of me was hoping we were gonna get a fatal four-way, but at this stage, it's only a triple threat. Kenny takes second seed out the grasp of Balor. And now holds his place atop. And well, we're guaranteed to see this match again tomorrow night. No need to make a new match graphic for that situation. It's going to be the Demon versus Omega in a pretty hefty matchup. But this was such a close affair. Both men gave it their all. A mistake, though, from Balor taunting in the corner allowed Kenny to get this one-winged angel drilled into him. And the victory comes home to the AEW star, Kenny Omega.
Here's your winner, Kenny Omega.
Second seed locked. Omega advances to tomorrow's show. We'll find out how the rest of this division will look later on tonight. But we're moving swiftly on to the Gold League as stakes are at their highest. It's a battle to either lock in for Ripley or be eliminated from it all. It's time to find out if she is going to the Showdown by beating her probably biggest rival in her career. Can she do it, or will Liv cement her status as the best woman in the Gold League? Why don't we find out in like 2 to 3 seconds once we've loaded in? And into the primetime arena for our co-main event of the regularly scheduled matches. It's time for a little bit of brutality as the Eradicator looks to qualify.
The following is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Adelaide, Australia, Rhea Ripley.
A win gets Ripley third seed in this gold division. A loss, she is gone. A count-out victory for her causes a tiebreaker match between her, Stephanie Vakir, and Chelsea Green. Obviously, as a commentator, we want to see more action here tonight. So we're kind of hoping it's a count out. But let's be honest. Chances are Mami is going to qualify here if she can surpass her biggest rival in her career.
And her opponent, representing the Judgment Day, from Elmwood Park, New Jersey, Liv Morgan.
Stepping into this match, Liv is here to steal not only Rhea's boyfriend, as she did, but to steal her chances of qualifying. There's no love lost between these two women With Morgan already qualified as the first seed of this division, she has the potential to cause some havoc. The crowd behind Ripley for this as we get underway, and the strikes come through thick and fast in the early goings from Ripley. That big knee looked like it almost knocked out Morgan, but what we've seen from Liv in this tournament has just been phenomenal. I would say the best performing woman across both divisions. Certainly impressed me in how she's done, especially considering just where she was before this Showdown tournament. Back on Locked In on that show, just she kept hitting her Oblivion, kept eliminating people in that matchup, but fell short to a sharpshooter. And that ended the night and gave Natalya the title. But if Liv hit one more Oblivion in that match on Natalya, you certainly would have felt she would have been the television champion. And quite honestly, with how Natalya has done in this tournament, Liv's certainly given a better showing and could have been a better champ, but Ripley's music's playing. Who's distracting Rhea here? But it's given a shot for Liv to get back to a vertical base. Rhea catches her though. Can't follow up on that distraction. Can Morgan is going to overpower Ripley though into the ropes. Referee Gale here, causing a clean break. Mommy sends Ripley running. Tries to grab hold of her, can't do so. Oblivion, oh my word. That hit from out nowhere. And Morgan looking to just steal the victory here and now. A 2 count. Off the back of that maneuver and a foot stomp following suit. Morgan caught the boot. Forced into the dragon screw. And Ripley. She's been stunned here. Morgan's really got going early. Pinfall attempt here. As Morgan kicks out in time. Rhea trying to get into this match more than anything. Nice slam there. Bringing down Morgan as she hooks her up into the powerbomb position. Just tossing her down to the mat. It's such beautiful offense from Rhea as she lines up a big boot. That's one hell of a kick. Morgan through, catches her. Face buster into the mat. Gunstone across that top turnbuckle, or top rope I should say. Ripley is on the outside. We're starting a count here. Both women battling here. The count should restart in a second. A 2 count through. A bulldog from Morgan. Now, if it's me, I'm kind of hoping here that Rhea reverses this pressure and gets Morgan counted out, but that's the code breaker from Liv. She lines up Ripley here for something. Just gonna drag her back into the ring. Smart from Liv. Just looking to prove her dominance as she's lines up Rhea for something. The Oblivion for a second time in this match. The pinfall attempt comes through. Rhea could be eliminated in a moment. But she's somehow still in this. Ripley firing back. Dragon screw leg whip. Punishing. She tosses Liv into that bottom turnbuckle. A fired up Ripley knows her chances are dwindling as she is on the ropes. Liv connecting. The boot from Ripley. She's got the gut wrench in. Up and down the riptide. Pretzels her as well. Liv's foot is on the rope. How is this a pin? It shouldn't have been allowed. Liv was in the ropes there. Liv, though, fights back to a vertical base before Ripley can punish. And Liv now striking up over. Hooks it up. Drives Ripley into the mat. Rhea, though, fights back, spearing down Morgan. Across the ropes and through with... That was such a brutal drop kick there from Ripley. It's just boots hitting face. And somehow Liv's not busted open. Morgan, though, gonna try and return the favor here to Ripley. A leapfrog. And a takedown. Walking the back as well. Disrespect out the window from Morgan, who's now caught the strikes through from Ripley. Both women down, but the gas tank favors Morgan a little bit more. Ripley, though, back to a vertical base, sends Liv running. Can't connect with the dropkick, and now comes through with a big time boot. Busts open Liv, and the pinfall attempts inbound. A 2 count on Morgan. As Ripley getting back into the swing of domination. Morgan struggling as Liv's lining up the shot. Kick to the body. That combo of kicks just so hard to deal with if you're Morgan. Liv catches the strike but can't dodge the follow-up lariat. It's Ripley. It's time to get going. I'm sensing count out. We'll head to the outside. As Ripley, I feel, must have a finisher ready to utilize the pop here on the outside. Liv's not going to allow it. As the action returns to the ring. Morgan works over the leg. Both women giving it their all. The stomp can't connect here from Morgan as she's caught with a lariat. Ripley grabs a hold of Liv. Gets her up into the electric chair position. And slams her down with the face buster. Following that up, though, with the kick to the gut. It's time for a little Riptide. Stacks her once again. And this should be... No! That should have been it. How is Liv still in this? She might not be for much longer as the Prism Trap locked in deep. Will Morgan tap out? And she does! Ripley picks up the submission victory in her final bout, thus qualifying for the Showdown. Oh boy. With that qualification, tiebreaker rules come into effect. Once I find a Stephanie Vaquer match with Chelsea Green. Oh, that happened yesterday. And guess what? A count-out victory. Oh, how poetic. To Green. Eliminates Vaquer. And we're getting Chelsea Green at the live event. Commiserations to Stephanie, as we say. But that does mean seeding is locked in for the Gold League. It's interesting, both the women's divisions fully locked in place. We know who's facing who. It's Liv Morgan.
Here's your winner, Rhea Ripley.
Liv Morgan will take on Chelsea Green and Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley to open up this Golden League's action at the pay-per-view. But it's time to lock in the Pink League. Tiebreaker situations averted yesterday as Gunther was eliminated from qualification. And tonight, Roman and Randy do battle to basically decide who takes home second seed in this division. Will it be the television champion? Or will the tribal chief walk away with a victory? We're about to find out as we send ourselves into this monumental battle. As we get the opera-themed classical entrance of the OTC, it's time to talk stakes. This will be a battle for second. As Roman lost to Shawn Michaels, as did Randy. Thus, Shawn locks in first seed. The winner of this match takes home second seed.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, the OTC, Roman Reigns.
If Randy wins, Roman is 4th seed, Ospreay is 3rd seed. If Roman wins, once I find Ospreay versus Randy, I can tell you the scene for that one. If Roman wins, Randy is 3rd seed. Ospreay is 4th seed. Ospreay, realistically speaking, is wanting Orton to win. Better seeding heading into the showdown. Gets you in a matchup with the man, well, with Randy Orton. Losing and you're facing The Rock. Ospreay wants a Randall Keith Orton win. Roman needs the victory to avoid his cousin in the opening round. Randy, the good thing for him, the lowest seed he can get is 3rd. As a television champion,
And his opponent from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 245 pounds, the undisputed television champion, Randy Orton.
looking confident. is Orton, who is ready for war. Bringing tonight the confidence needed to secure himself second seed. The tribal chief was dominant through much of this tournament, but till now, that second half caused havoc for this division. And Shawn Michaels and Randy Orton both surged up the standings alongside Will Ospreay. Just last night, we had no one bar Michaels locked. Tonight, we know everyone locked in. We just need to guarantee seeding. Let's get underway with this, our main event of 2 matches. Obviously, this one, the main event of the regularly scheduled bouts. The tiebreaker battle to happen after this one. And we kind of can talk about the insanity of this match. That we will be getting a tiebreaker situation if this does end in a draw. And the reason I'm highlighting a draw here is because, technically speaking, if that does happen, then both men split a point. That would mean that Ospreay would be 4th seed, regardless of the win-loss. We'd also have to have a tiebreaker matchup between these 2 stars to round out the night's action. And this is why we kind of didn't go for a no count out, no DQ matchup here for this, our main event. We have to keep by the rules that, technically speaking, seeding would be affected if we did have that in play. But as it happens, that we don't really care, as these matches tonight have banged. And Roman unloading in the corner. The tribal chief, we've seen him in this tournament be pretty brutal with his opponents. Very mommy-esque in terms of the bouts that's come from him. But he's lost his confidence. Halfway through this tournament, he was wearing tracksuits because he was giving no respect to the opponent. And he was winning. Now, in his kind of final boss look moniker, he is very much in a situation where he's in trouble. And while he is qualified for the show, he is in trouble because he just cannot give up his seeding. Second seed would be massive for either man, really. That was a lovely combo there by Randy. But Orton, we know, the television champion, the resiliency, the heart of a champ, he just fulfills that moniker. A very potent striker with that ability to strike and coil up from out of nowhere. Randy coming through, lariat through, the 2K comeback imminent. He ducks the line, power slams through. He takes down Orton trying maybe to go for a bit of vintage. Can't do so as Roman fights him off. The Tribal Chief and Orton battling. Orton out the back door. Ebb and flow DDT. You kind of have to feel that Orton wants this more, maybe. Dissecting Orton right now. Roman right now. The tempo of this bout is getting to that slow, methodical pace that benefits the Viper. Randy connects, takes the back. Just a nice toss there. Almost a Blue Thunder Bomb, but only almost. As the Viper coils up and strikes with an RKO. Roman being pinned. This could be a sign of what's to come at the Showdown. Orton keeping the pressure on, armbar locked in. Television champ trying to tap out Reigns. Roman out the back door, busts open. Orton and connects. The guillotine locked in. Turn him out is fair play, trying to tap out your opponent. Orton out of it. Survives the guillotine. Backbreaker and through with a lariat as well. Punishing Roman. We're now connecting with these Orton stomps. Just cutting down Reigns. Piece by piece being chopped apart. As the Viper coils up once again. And strikes with another RKO. Nearly the victory with it as well, but Reigns resilient. Staying in this matchup. Keeping his chances alive. The Tribal Chief, eyes firmly set on Orton, comes charging in the corner. A splash through, a scoop up, and a slam to follow suit. Reigns into the pin. A referee out of position, but gets down to count the one. I have to feel maybe Roman might be thinking Superman punch soon. Or the spear. He fires up. And he's going to his special place. He's not going to line it up though. Instead, send Randy running into the spear. And connects and goes for the pin. 1, 2. Near fall in favor of Roman. But the Tribal Chief has more in his wheelhouse. More opportunities to strike, but Randy catches him. Trading of shots there. Reigns sends him running, and again, a spear cuts Randy in half in quick succession. But it's not enough to put away the Viper. And Randall Keith Orton staying in this match. The Viper through Des Perez, and the punches, they trade blood as both men, fists and body covered in each other's blood here now. Orton busted open early. Reigns only just feeling the crimson taste, that red haze across his face. And he's probably going to feel a little more as Orton takes him up top for a superplex. Brings him down to the mat. And the Viper knows it's time to end it. A third RKO. to seal the... He doesn't even seal the deal. But it felt like it should have. The cravat locked in. Reigns, woolly tap. It's wrenched in deeper. Orton just slams the head into Matt, realizing he can't get the victory that way. And so, he's just going to stomp a mud hole into Reigns. The Orton stomps. Has it stopped the heart of Reigns? It has. Randy Orton. In our regular scheduled bout, I keep saying it, locks in second seed. And Ospreay locks in third. Roman Reigns now in fourth. Here in this pink league. This epic bout kicked off the show. Sorry, ends out our regular broadcast. We now go to extra innings that have been needed for a few days now. And let's be honest, the extra innings are going to be epic. For the first time in 26 days, we're getting something different from a singles match. Add in an extra combustible element, no DQs, no countouts. We've got a big bubbling over matchup to decide our final qualified star to tomorrow's live event.
Here is your winner, Randy Orton.
A great performance by Randy. As we now look to our main event. As the Orton pose signifies dominance for the Viper, we head to seeing me. Hello. I have to now prepare the triple threat match, and considering I haven't made a graphic for it, this is where we just toss it to the wolves. This is going to be an absolute masterclass of a matchup. Personally speaking, I have no favorites for qualifying. But when a former Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion and the current World Champion are going toe-to-toe 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be an epic battle. So, I'm hyped. I'm looking forward to it. And you should be too, because we're heading to our tie-breaker matchup. AJ Styles, Seth frickin' Rollins, and the Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion, Samoa Joe. The fires burn inside the primetime arena for this matchup. Things are about to heat the hell up.
The following is a triple threat match. Making his way to the ring from Davenport, Iowa, weighing in at 217 pounds, Seth freaking Rollins.
This man had the chance to eliminate both AJ and Joe from the competition last night if he got a 3-point victory over The Rock. Instead, a count-out victory forced IPW management's hand into giving us a tie-breaker battle. Rollins, you dirty dog. You enter this match as the underdog. As is this man, the phenomenal one. The champ is always favored, but in this tournament, he has suffered.
And his opponents, first from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 218 pounds, the phenomenal
AJ Styles victorious over Samoa Joe last week to put this situation into effect. Rollins and Joe, their bout ended with Samoa Joe. If I'm trying to find his record here. I'm probably very blind. Forgive me. As we welcome the champ to the arena.
from Huntington Beach, California, weighing in at 282 pounds, the undisputed World Heavyweight Champion, the Samoan Joe.
It's hard to find records in qualification. Forgive me. Samoa Joe versus Rollins. That ended. It's not on my record sheet. Oh well, I can't find it. Anyway, let's watch this triple threat match because, let's be honest, this is what matters most. There's Rollins, roll through, super kick to the face. Styles takes the back of Rollins. And this is where action starts to get insane because everything and anything can happen in a triple threat match. Weapons are allowed. No countouts. And we've spoke before about triple threat matches. Your white weight. Well, we talked about this in six-pack challenges. Obviously in the road to locked in. You kind of want to lie in wait and be the opportunist in a match like this. Capitalize on the opponent's action to then come in and strike a swift blow, like what Joe's trying to do here. Tossing the chair into the face of Rollins. As Styles, realizing the danger he was in, just punished Joe, forced him away. And as a whole, if you are in a match like this, you always have to have eyes in the back of your head. Knowing there's multiple people in it, a super kick from the champ, you don't see that too often. AJ, a combo, busts open Joe. Through with a lariat to end it off. Rollins capitalizing on the effort. Ripcord knee into the pin. Styles breaks it up. We're too early in this match. Springboard forearm misses there from AJ, who's now going to be punched and delivered some vicious strikes onto here by Rollins. Seth in the corner. Oh my word, flatliner into that middle rope. Joe watched on, stops the pinfall attempt, and now just tossing Rollins across the ring. The champion in a match like this has arguably some of the best experience. Obviously, actually, that being said, both him and Rollins, triple threat experts more than anything. As Joe won the belt in a triple threat match against Will Ospreay and Shawn Michaels. 2 stars also qualified for the Showdown. And that really isn't a good sign if the champion is to lose here. If he fails to qualify and the 2 people he beat for the belt qualify, it's not a good showing at all. But the champ, not going to let that happen if he gets his way. Hooks up Rollins, takes the back, can't go in the cocaine clutch. Instead, now Rollins lining up AJ. Can't get the shot off because Rollins is caught and tossed by Joe with the pinfall attempt in. But Styles recovers from his grogginess and just breaks the pinfall attempt up. Styles now up over Hangman neckbreaker. Drops the champ. There's a kendo stick coming into play here from Rollins. Just smacking it across the head of both Styles and Joe. Joe shakes it off. Styles can't as he was dropped by it. A brainbuster from Joe. There's a comeuppance for that kendo stick strike from Rollins. And the champ starting to get in control. AJ pushes him off, now in a better position. Fuckbuster onto Rollins. And now he can strike down the champ. The combo through it and a pile driver. Puts the champion's neck in danger. Styles, German suplex. Just driving Rollins into the mat. The phenomenal one. So goddamn good at this game. Keep your eyes on Joe, who's back here with a kendo stick. Just cracks it across the skull of Styles. Rollins ducks the shot and now takes Joe down. A kick to the gut. Sets him up for the curb stomp. Plants the champion into the mat. The pinfall attempt here gets a 2 count. An near fall in favor of Rollins, and that's the closest fall we've seen so far. Joe's hooked again. The pedigree from Rollins. Styles trying to capitalize on it. Can't do so as Rollins quick to the punch. Joe also rebounds back to his feet. Fires back, and now the champion. There's 2 targets for the picking. Styles is the wrong target to go for. Never mind, he's back to his feet. Both trading kicks to the face. Rollins back to his vertical base. But he can't get going as Styles. Calf killer locked in. Trying to tap out Joe. Remember, no rope breaks in a triple threat match as well. Rollins pinning Styles now. A 2 count and a kick out. Every man in some way hit with some potent offense. Rollins threw the super kick to the skull of Styles. A busted kendo stick across Rollins' back though. And now the champion lining up his targets. Keeping them punished. Rollins Snapmare, chop to the back, and a boot to follow suit. And Joe has a combination of offense for Styles as his revenge gay kind of play. Rollins watching on now. Lines up Joe, connects, sets him up, stomps his head into the mat, goes for the pin. AJ under the ring trying to get a weapon, slowly makes his way back in, breaks it up in time as well. Only barely though, as Rollins, the Architect, a menace, springboard, whatever dropkick that is, that was weirdly executed by Styles, but he connects nonetheless. He drops the champ. Jawbreaker there to Styles, who's now hooked up by Rollins. DDT by the Architect, the Visionary, but he's hooked up to the shoulders of Joe. Powerbomb position, and it's a big time just tossed down with that powerbomb from the champ. The pinfall attempt gets a 2 count as Rollins stays alive. AJ fighting back, gets a weapon. Joe tries to go cocaine and clutch, can't get it. Instead, he's hit with that kendo stick, and now Styles hooked up. Nice Hurricane Rana to get out of it. Now has Rollins hooked up and down with the Styles Clash. He busts open Rollins here. Goes for the pin. It's a 1 count because Joe's right there. And Joe is here to put an end to it. Brings down Styles with a big ending. Rollins tries to connect with a Revolution knee. Cannot do so. So he opts for the kendo. Hits onto the skull of Joe. Goes for the pin as well. 2 count here for the Visionary. And the win! Rollins qualifies for tomorrow's show. And he will be up against The Rock. The only man in this tournament to beat The Rock. Granted, it was a count out. And tomorrow the rules shift to definitive victories. We will have no countouts at the Showdown. But this matchup, a great showcase of the talent here in IPW. As we lock in some stars to the show. Everyone's in. Seeding confirmed. Tomorrow's matches also confirmed. IPW management still has to determine the order of them bouts, but we're going to run them down in a moment's time, just to what we will be seeing across each division, and explain how tomorrow will work. Once again, congratulations to Seth Rollins for qualifying and also eliminating the Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion from this tournament. We won't be having the top men's star at the live event for the first time in forever. And instead, we are getting a Visionary. What a final Road to the Showdown match we had. As the Showdown now is upon us tomorrow. We have 8 bouts on the card. We'll start off in the Pink League, where Shawn Michaels will be going toe-to-toe with, if I'm correct, Roman Reigns. I'm just going to double check that, because my records are a bit weird. for Osprey's name. Osprey. Where's Roman's name? Does anyone else remember this matchup? Roman Jacob. Note to self. Actually, I can put this up on my screen so you can look along as I do it. Hi. Let me just pan this over. Hello, welcome to the spreadsheet of doom. I moved it to my main monitor instead of a laptop screen so I can actually look for this. But essentially, Roman Osprey, there we go, was a match of the week. How am I that dumb? It will be as follows: Osprey versus Randy, and Shawn Michaels versus Roman in the Pink League. In the Green League, The Rock will go toe-to-toe with Seth Rollins, and the Demon faces the Cleaner once again, a rematch from today. After that, it's Michelle McCool. She will take on Io Sky. Fallon Henley versus Natalia. We're going to be saying goodbye to one of our champions in round 1 of the Teal League. We are resetting the round numbers to round 1. It's technically the semi-final of the Green League, or of each league. Anyway, let's talk the final league. The Gold League will see Liv Morgan, Chelsea Green, and Nia Jax, Rhea Ripley. An epic lineup of matches. I need to put the match card together, though, for it. The potential is we're going to see some big matches from these stars. I cannot wait to cover it all, by the way. I'll put together the match card tonight, or IPW management will. But yeah. Tomorrow's show will be in the Showdown Arena in New York. That's going to be fun. I can't wait to show it because it's a big night arena. It looks great, as does the card now for night 1. So essentially how night 1 will work is it is just going to be the semi-finals across all 4 divisions. Night 2 will be division finals, and then the Gold and the Teal Leagues battling, and then the Green and the Pink League winners battling to main event the show. A massive night of action, and it's, well, massive 2 nights of action still left for you guys. The Showdown is upon us. We're going to go down from 16 to 8 tomorrow night. And yeah, that's going to be epic. You don't want to miss it. It's a big night of action, as I say. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the show. Peace out.